Hey there, welcome to the sermon preview for this week. I'm glad you're taking a second to join me here today. This week we are continuing on in our series in the book of Malachi. We're jumping into week 6 of this series. We're calling this series Wake Up Call because we've seen how God has really been stepping on our toes and waking us up, bringing up things in our lives that need to be worked on, just as they needed to be worked on in the lives of the Israelites in the original audience here of this prophecy. And so it's been really interesting to see how God has used this. This past week, we looked at this idea of giving and how God wants our first and our best as this symbol of Him having our heart. And so from that, we jump into our passage this week. We're going to be looking at Malachi chapter 3, verses 13 through 18 this week. And we see that God continues on from that, and so again, He brings up this next dispute against the Israelites, and He says, Your words have been hard against me, right? The Israelites have said, they've accused God, and they've challenged God of a lot of things throughout this entire book. And so God says, your words have been hard against me. And, you know, the Israelites, they challenge Him again, as they normally would, by saying, how have we spoken out against you? And God's response here, and this is where I want to spend a little bit of our time here today, just as we look forward. Their response to God, or God's response to them, is that you have said it is vain to serve God. What profit is there of keeping His and walking in His path, right? And so they're bringing up these questions. It's vain to continue to serve God. So they almost have this thought or this attitude of, what's the point? Why would we continue on in this anyway? We're not getting anything out of this. There's no benefit for us in continuing to serve God. It's vain to serve God. Right? And we have to remember, Malachi is talking to a very apathetic, skeptical generation that is facing a lot in their life, and they have chosen to go in a direction that is going away from God, not leaning into His faithfulness. And so they're saying it's vain to serve God. And then later in this passage, starting in verse 16, we see Malachi starts to talk about some that are faithful. Okay, so we have this focus on there's one group of people that says it is vain to serve God. There's no point in it anymore. And then Malachi gives us, in the last couple verses here, 16 through 18, he gives us a picture of people who are serving God. A picture of people that say it is worth it, right? And so we kind of have this comparison here of Group A and Group B. Group A who is not devoted, and Group B who is devoted, right? And so this week, as we go into this Sunday and you prepare for the sermon, obviously read through the passage, but also think about the idea and reflect on maybe when is a time that you've been tempted to say, or maybe you actually did say, what's the point? It's vain to serve the Lord. It's not worth it anymore. I think that's a difficult question for us to ask ourselves, because I think if we're all honest, we may or may not have been in that situation where we say, what's the point? It's not worth it anymore. You've hit rock bottom in some way or another, and you say, God, I'm done. I don't see the profit. I don't see, it's not worth it to follow you anymore. So think about that, reflect on that, and bring those thoughts with you as we prepare to dig deep into this passage and see what God has for us. So I'm looking forward to digging deep into this, to being with you on Sunday morning. One small reminder is this Sunday we will be having the affirmation vote for our pastoral candidate for the youth and family pastor position. So that will happen this Sunday as well. So make sure and come. If you're not going to be here, check out or check with the office, and they can get you an absentee ballot so that you don't miss your opportunity to weigh in on this really important decision for our church family here. So looking forward to Sunday, looking forward to spending time with you. We'll see you then. Take care.